to imagine writing a book from page 1 to 100 is self-defeating. Essentially, it's allow it to be messy. Hello, dear.
Hello.
Guys, these two fan interviews in a row. I am so excited about this. I am so excited to introduce to you Alycia Hammer, who is the new author of Faith Through the Feminine. Alycia not only is coming out with her debut book this month, also she is going to be one of our speakers at the Aspiring Author Summit September 13th in Cedar Rapids, Iowa. Okay, so we are here in Green Bay, Wisconsin. We just had breakfast. We were chatting about the book. We were chatting about the summit. And I asked Alycia what she wants to speak on. And we're going to be talking a lot about, I mean, we were talking about the whole summit, like writer's block and how to work through that, letting a book flow through you. One other one that I know is going to come up is not editing while writing, because that slows us down. What got you through times of writer's block?
I think really my first writer's block came before I even started writing. I had the idea, I knew kind of the feel of what I wanted, and I was very stuck in school mode. I was a public educator. Before that, I loved going to school. I was a good student. I followed the rules. And in my head, I really was distracted by the rules
Yeah.
overall of you have to have a finished outline, you have to do all of your pre-writing, you have to turn it in, get a grade, get it back, and then write. But I didn't have that when it was just me writing my book. So I really had to overcome a lot of those obstacles of just getting to the actual writing. And then of course, as I was writing, blocks came, and my book is based in the Bible, and I am a true believer of God, and I follow Jesus, and a lot of prayer came in during those times, a lot of turning to Him and saying, what do you want from me? Guide me through this. So a lot of that came and helped me through my breakthroughs or my writer's blocks.
Thank you for sharing that. I appreciate that, because you made a really good point. Is in school you have your teacher, you might have peers you're comparing to, sometimes it's a group effort, and as an adult just deciding to write a book, like no one is out there making sure you write your book or telling you how to do it necessarily. Now, you did the Write Your Book in 60 Days course. We have invented groups like the Aspiring Author Summit and the Write Your Book in 60 Days course is a chance to surround yourself with other writers and feel encouraged, but that your faith also got you through this. So tell us about your book, because it is faith-based and it has a lot of different components to it.
Yeah, so it is a biblical approach to menstruation, cycle syncing, really all things holistic women's health. I am an integrative nutrition health coach. So I took my background in that holistic aspect of there's so much more to your health than just the food on your plate and the number of miles you're running. Your spirituality, your relationship with God and with Jesus are monumental in your health as well. So I really relied on the Bible to lead me through and to really help women see that the Bible isn't just about men, written by men, for men. Women are huge in there too. And our health is absolutely mirrored in the truth in the Bible.
She vividly points out where the Bible is speaking to women, is speaking about the feminine, is speaking about menstruation. You bring up where it can be misconstrued, and you do a lot of clearing that up and offering us a fresh perspective, and that is really refreshing. I also vividly remember, because I think I related, and I just thought so many women must, oh, and men, because you bring up this book is also for men who want to support their women, so just keep that in mind. You pointed out that tracking your cycle and the way you related to your cycle was either bleeding or not bleeding. And there's just so much more to it than that. Can you explain that to us a little bit?
Yes, absolutely. So I always knew that, we ovulate and there are these different pieces, but I always just thought, okay, well, that's just a part of, I don't have my period. This is a time. And then, oh, I have my period. Here we go. Through my health coaching, I realized that I really want to be here to support women. And a huge part of that is our hormones. So I did a hormone specialization with my health coaching. And through that, I just learned so much more about how our hormones are fluctuating and that, hey, there's a lot more to us than just not bleeding and bleeding, cranky and not cranky. We actually do have 4 very distinct phases of our cycle. And it's really amazing when you dive into what the Bible is saying, how much of the Bible helps us through all four of those phases. Just off the top of my head, rest.
Amen. Amen.
Rest is huge in the Bible. It's very cool to see four distinct cycles, very clear ideas in the Bible of how to address all of those.
Yeah. Thank you. It's incredibly insightful. It goes into detail of each phase. There's also recipes in there for the different phases, what we could, would, should be eating to really maximize and nourish ourselves at each phase. I think another piece is like normalizing conversation about menstruation and being okay with navigating that and it not becoming taboo. Is there anything you'd love to add about shifting from it being something we're embarrassed of or have shame to embracing and loving and sharing?
Definitely. When I was younger, I never really got that, like, yay, you have a period. It was always like, oh, you have your period. Well, that's a bummer. That's too bad. Not everyone gets that. You know, there are some people who have wonderful experiences with it and are excited. Then when you look at the Bible and you see things like in Leviticus that call you unclean and impure, oh man, that doesn't feel good.
Yeah.
That makes me feel awful. It's not my fault this is happening to me, God. You designed me this way. But then to just really understand what that actually means and look then at what Jesus did. And he changed everything.
Yeah.
Looking at his story and what he has done makes me, and hopefully all of my readers, really feel a sigh of relief that there is absolutely nothing wrong with you. And this is truly a time for rest and for rejuvenation. And it's what is necessary before renewal. And hopefully that does bring you peace.
It brings me peace. I tracked my period for, I think, 2 full years where I really started to learn because I wanted to add another piece that you bring up is cycle syncing, really designing your life around those phases, understanding what's coming, why it's coming, when it's coming, how you can manage it to, again, maximize and optimize. And I think that's so beneficial. Like, what such a powerful tool. Is there anything you'd love to say to women to encourage them to get this book? I think of women who are sort of at the starting line of understanding their period better to sync their life and feel this total well-being you're talking about with faith and our bodies and unifying that.
Well, first, if you are at a place where you have never tracked your cycle before, it's also pretty important to note that if you are not on birth control, because as we know, birth control controls your cycle, right?
Yeah, literally.
What I'm really speaking to is your true body, truly getting in tune with you. And if you are just starting, it can be very overwhelming. What I tried very hard to keep in mind while writing my book is that there are some women who this is not new to them. They'll totally be fine doing everything that I say, but keeping in mind that there are women who have never done this before. I really wanted to make sure that this was not an overwhelming book for you, to take the small pieces from it and let that become a part of your habit and your routine before you move on and take everything that I say in the book, because it is overwhelming when you first start and you don't really know what's going on and you want to try to change everything right away.
Yeah.
And it's so important to just have grace with your body and to observe it. Be an observer. Look at it. And in my book, I walk you through different ways of tracking so you can pick what works best for you. And then I do give you some smaller suggestions on where to start and how to start making those changes, but that doesn't come first. Observing comes first.
Beautiful, beautiful. Now, your answer turned into this perfect segue to writing again. It's overwhelming at first. Take it little by little, piece by piece. What would you say if someone's considering the summit and writing a book and it feels overwhelming?
Just do it.
I
Is
love it.
really the best way to sum it up.
Truly.
Like I had said in the beginning too, having those blocks of, oh, but I need to know exactly what's coming in the next chapter. I need to have this perfect layout and organization, and you don't need all of that. I had a really wise counsel once tell me, write a shitty draft first.
Yes.
It's
Amen.
okay.
Yes.
Like, just get the words out. And from there, you can still be an observer of your own writing. You can still look at it and say, okay, what are my common themes here? What are my threads? What's coming out of this? And then go with that and start making small adjustments to what you've written or add more. So yeah, a really great way to carry on with your own writing as well as observing your own body.
Beautiful. I love it. You reminding me, just write a shitty first draft. I meet with so many people who swear they want to write a book, ask me about writing a book, ask me about publishing a book, and it usually arrives to, I can't publish a book you haven't written. So I love my dreamers, but I love my doers. And there is no way through it but through it. Something I feel is really important, and then maybe you've experienced this because you also have an online presence, and it's not a social media post, it's not a vlog post, it's a couple hundred pages, especially if it's in a Word document. It's a couple hundred pages, a couple like thousands of words of writing that need to end up cohesive and together. And I know it tends to feel like Mount Everest when you have this vision and now you somehow have to let it move through you. Trust and faith and prayer and meditation and sloppy journaling or sloppy writing. The book takes shape and you observe the book and you can see what's missing and you can place it and move it. And you did some adjustments in moving, and we all do. And so to imagine writing a book from page 1 to 100 is self-defeating. Essentially, it's allow it to be messy. When tracking your cycle, you're tracking because you don't know it in the first place. You're learning as you're going, and the only way to learn is as you go. And so I think that's true for both cycle syncing and tracking, and also writing the best book ever. So thank you. So do tell us, where can people follow you?
Yes. So on Instagram and Facebook, I am at Seventh Watch Women. That name also stems from the Bible and our personal bleeding. Jesus was on the cross bleeding during the seventh watch. And just like Jesus had to bleed before he could renew life, we also have to bleed before we can renew life. So, Seventh Watch Women on both of those. And you can also go to my website, that is alyciahammer.com.
And you can even meet Alycia in person in Cedar Rapids, September 13th at the Aspiring Author Summit. So we hope to see you there. There are in-person options and online options. So if it just seems too far for you, check out heartsunleashed.com/shop and take a look at our virtual option as well. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
Yes. And if you enjoyed hanging out with us, please be sure to like and comment and share and subscribe and do all the things. If you know someone who has talked about writing a book, swears to write a book, dreams of writing a book, has no idea how to start a book, please share this with them and help them see the light that I too can do this. And normal people, real people doing real things, just enjoying and sharing their very real stories with you. So thank you for hanging out with us. We'll see you soon.